लगा सकते हो? चालू है, वर्किंग है।
इसको फोन लगाओ ना योगेश को। लैपटॉप लगाओ क्या? लैपटॉप कनेक्ट कर दूं? योगेश भाऊ लैपटॉप कनेक्ट करूं यहाँ? यहाँ नहीं, उधर उधर।
Demonstration of data-driven decision-making. When it's enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The kind of confidence you get when you work with Cognizant. With business engineers who help you anticipate expectations and act instantly, as if on intuition. The ones that help you employ IoT so you can sense changes in your customers and company. Who crunch data using AI so you learn about trends before they're trending. Who create software to help you act on your intuition and deploy it in the cloud so you can convert it into products that produce results better and faster than your competition. It's how Cognizant enriches what you know with the know-how to get to the future first. This is intuition, and we can engineer it. Cognizant. Intuition engineered.
Imagine being trusted by the world's most respected companies to revolutionize their businesses and create a smarter, more connected world, or being empowered to go beyond what's asked and dream of what's possible. We have a hunger to make a difference, to improve everyday life, everywhere. Our team has heart. We collaborate, innovate, and win. Together. These are your allies. So dream big. Define your path. Be yourself. Whatever your ambition, we'll take you there. All with the flexibility and support you need to thrive. At work and outside of it. At Cognizant, opportunities are endless. And you are right where you belong. Passion. 7 letters that fuel our purpose. It's the blueprint of the future, the catalyst of creation. Passion is a superpower that we are all born with. Yet only a few can harness its greatness. Because despite what we think, passion is an ingredient, the key in the ignition, the first line of code. For passion to become the wind beneath your wings, it needs a community of allies. A culture that gives you the confidence to step outside your comfort zone. A workplace that harnesses the power of intuition and reimagines businesses. Empowering initiatives that unlock your true potential. And a team of leaders who are inspiring the next generation to engineer a smarter future. And when passion finds the right tech, the right culture, the right allies, and the right leaders, it has the power to change the world. Just like many of these inspiring women are discovering here at Cognizant. As they engineer their vision and intuition to rewrite the future, break biases, and create impact that matters. This is how we are helping engineer the future at Cognizant.
Someone comes up with an idea, it's a good idea, and we turn it into action pretty quickly. The way that we touch the world and the organizations within the world really makes me proud to work at Cognizant Canada.
So you have this great idea. You want to set up an innovation lab, let's say, for a client. Instead of having to wait for approval after approval after approval, you will very quickly get access to resources. You get access to leadership. You get access to where we've done this before.
It's very entrepreneurial, and it's more of a democracy.
One of the things that I admire about Cognizant is their ability to push and allow people to be entrepreneurial. No idea is a bad idea.
I think big ideas go from concept to reality quickly at Cognizant because we allow our employees to show their skill set, their passion, their capacities, their abilities without barriers.
When we partner with our stakeholders to drive true transformation and significant impact, it feels like we're truly an extension of their team. It makes me actually feel really, really proud to work for Cognizant.
I'm not just helping out a company or a corporation to make more money. I'm actually helping out people in the world, in the community, in their day-to-day lives, whether they probably know it or don't know it. And if you look at it from that lens, it's very humbling.
It's a great feeling. I'm proud to be in Cognizant doing that and helping many people with that solution.
So I've been at Cognizant for 3 years now, and I've played a lot of different roles at Cognizant. So I would say the role that I was brought in for 3 years ago is quite different than what I'm doing right now. And I think a lot of that has to do with allowing people to find their way, right? And not being stuck in a square box of a job description. I met a lot of great colleagues at Cognizant that have actually helped me. People that have been here for 10 years, 20 years, and asking questions of them, what should I be focused on? Where should I be applying my strengths? Being able to having that open dialogue allowed me to try a lot of different new things at Cognizant, work with a lot of new clients and different clients at Cognizant, and being able to use those experiences to figure out, okay, now where should I focus my time and energy on, and where do I want to sort of lay that career path?
I feel like throughout my career here, I could develop 2, 3, 4 different career paths in my time. Cognizant truly embraces internal movement, development opportunities. We have these centers of excellence where I'm organically developing. I feel like I could utilize that to make my next move into a different career. So I feel very positive about my future here at Cognizant.
So I joined Cognizant in the US, and from there I have been a tech lead all the way to people manager now. In the entire career, I have been supported with truly motivational leaders, and not just work, but all parts of life. It's a circle of trust, I would say, that we have. All the people that I reported into, all my bosses, they are very honest, open. They help me and explain how you can grow in your career. I take those steps, and I have total faith in the career progression that I'm making at Cognizant.
My personal style on career is I get bored easily. I have to have growth, I have to have challenges, I have to have excitement, and certainly in Cognizant Canada with our rapid growth over the last 2 or 3 years, it's really been engaging for me personally, and we're still doing all the right things to keep that momentum going.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Luckily, there's a tool to heighten your intelligence, build on it, elevate it. It's called intuition. Born from human instinct, some might see it as uncertain or anti-data. But in fact, it's the ultimate demonstration of data-driven decision-making. When it's enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The kind of confidence you get when you work with Cognizant. The business engineers who help you anticipate expectations and act instantly, as if on intuition. The ones that help you employ IoT so you can sense changes in your customers and company. Who crunch data using AI so you learn about trends before they're trending. Who create software to help you act on your intuition and deploy it in the cloud so you can convert it into products that produce results better and faster than your competition. It's how Cognizant enriches what you know with the know-how to get to the future first. This is intuition, and we can engineer it. Cognizant. Intuition engineered.
Imagine being trusted.
हेलो योगेश भाऊ, प्रेजेंटेशन एक बार चेक कर लो. ओके.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parasbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Before we dive into today's session, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a very special occasion. Today, we celebrate Teachers' Day, a day to honor and appreciate the incredible role that our teachers play in shaping our lives, guiding us towards our success. On behalf of all the students, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all the teachers and mentors who have inspired us, supported us, and motivated us throughout the journey. Let's take a moment to thank our teachers whose dedication and commitment have made a lasting impact on all of us. Please give a huge round of applause. Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. I hope you're all excited and ready for what promises to be an insightful session. My name is Aman, and I'm honored to be your host for today. First and foremost, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Cognizant for organizing this pre-placement talk session here at GH Raisoni College of Engineering, Nagpur. This is an excellent opportunity for all of us to gain valuable insights into the corporate world and get a deeper understanding of what it is. Established in 1996, GH Raisoni College of Engineering, Nagpur is a premier autonomous institution in central India, imparting a holistic technical education to the students residing not only in India but also international. The institution has always been among a well-performing institution, National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF MHRD, Government of India. It takes to thrive in a global organization like Cognizant. GHRC achieved another milestone in NIRF 2024 by retaining the band of 151 to 200 engineering category and upgraded in ranking and innovation category in the band 11 to 50. The institution is accredited A++ by NAC in the third cycle, and almost all programs are Tier 1 accredited by NBA. Cognizant is one of the world's leading professional service company, transforming clients' business, operating and technology models for the digital era. With a global presence and reputation for innovation, Cognizant is the forefront of digital transformation journey of countless businesses around the world. Today, we have with us some distinguished guests from Cognizant who will be sharing their experience, knowledge, tips on how to succeed in the upcoming placements. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speakers for today. Mr. Nitin Cholkar, sir, Associate Vice President and SBO Head Energy and Utilities. With over 25 years of experience in the IT industry, Mr. Nitin, sir, is a natural leader with a deep understanding of global delivery management. He has played a pivotal role in driving business growth and leading digital transformations. Today, he will share his insights on the industry and how to prepare for a successful career at Cognizant. Our next speaker, Ms. Shilpa Mahajani, Ma'am, Senior Manager, Human Resource L&D Scaling Partner, Internship Program, Campus Recruitment Partner for West and Central India. Ms. Shilpa Mahajani brings 17 years of experience in learning and development in program management. She has been instrumental in designing and managing an enablement program for fresh graduates and have extensive knowledge in internship program and corporate learning solutions. She will guide us on what Cognizant looks in for future employees and how to navigate the recruitment process effectively. Without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Nitin Cholkar and Ms. Shilpa Mahajani to the stage with a huge round of applause.
We are starting with the presentation.
Hello. Who is doing it? He will change the slide. So somebody sitting there? Yes, somebody sitting there. Okay, no. You just have to say next, you will change the slide. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Can you all people hear me? Okay. People who have connected virtually, I think Priyadarshini College and Vincent College as well. Can they hear me? Can you confirm, please? Can they hear me? Okay, good. Thank you. Good morning once again. My name is Nitin Cholkar. I'm from Cognizant. This is my 18th year in Cognizant. My role in Cognizant today is I've been leading a business unit, BU called Energy and Utilities. So essentially my group, we take care of all the projects, all the big assignments from energy and utilities clients. Energy meaning oil and gas. So big oil and gas companies that you probably are aware of, like Enbridge or Total or Shell or Marathon, all of them, right? So that's energy part of it. Utilities essentially is all about electric utilities, the power utilities across the globe. Some of them are very massive utilities, right? Power companies like Pacific Gas in America or National Grid in UK or Europe, or Duke Energy in US again. So all of that, right? It's a sizable group in Cognizant. Almost, my team is about around 7,000 plus people across the globe. 4,000 in India and remaining 3,000 either are in US, UK, Europe or Latin America, everywhere, right? Been very happy to be here in this campus, Raisoni College campus, and also welcome people from Raisoni and other two colleges, Priyadarshini and Vincent College. Essentially, I am here to do this pre-placement talk, right, and share my perspective on a couple of things that how all of you should be looking at a career in IT, right? Though before we get onto any specific company, right, a career in IT, that's a starting point. That why any one of you should be even thinking about building your career in IT. Why is that so? Right? So that is very, very important to understand. And number two, then obviously, right, then get into, double click it and then find out what in IT, right? What in IT I should be doing to build my career. So to simplify the whole stuff, what I'll do, I'm going to talk using a structured way, like a 4-point agenda, right? I would say 4-point agenda. Number one, I will talk about IT. Why IT? Why, all of you or any one of you should be even thinking of building a career in IT. That is number one. Why IT? Number two, within IT, why Cognizant? Right? That's number two. Number three is, okay, good. IT, Cognizant is fine. Then what is in it for you? What is that you can look forward to? That once you get into IT, once you get into Cognizant, what is that you can look forward to? That is number three. And number four is, obviously, IT is good, Cognizant is good, you are part of Cognizant. How you can be successful, right? Because Cognizant is a big company. The companies are big, like Accenture, TCS, Cognizant, Infosys, all of them are super big. So there is essentially something that is very, very important to understand, that how I can be successful among so many people there, right? So that is my point number four. So number one, IT, why Cognizant? Number two, number three, what is in it for you? And number four is how you can be successful. Is that okay? That's the agenda. All right? Yes or no? All right. So let me talk now before we get on to the slides. Oh man, this is like hitting hard. Okay. Is that really needed? Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. All right, so before I get into the slides, right, let's think about IT. Now, everybody talks about IT and IT, right? That the careers in IT are very lucrative. We should be, thinking about getting into IT for sure and all of that. Why is that so? Think about it, right? So I'll give you some statistics to start with. I don't know how many of you really know how big is our IT business in India, the software business, in terms of US dollar revenue or whatever you call it, right? It's actually $300 billion, which is sizable, which is very sizable. $300 billion. All companies in India, all software companies in India put together, they make per annum revenue of $300 billion. What is world revenue? All companies in the world put together, what is the world revenue? Any guesses? It is $5.2 trillion. $5.2 trillion. 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. That means $5,200 billion. That's the world thing. 5,200 billion at the world level, 300 billion at India level. So it's anybody's guess. We are very small. We are extremely small. We are not even more than 6 or 7% of the total. 5,200 billion, and we are only at 300 billion. So we are not more than 6 or 7% Indian IT. But now look at this. Last 6 years, if you really think, the world IT year on year is growing with 5%. Not more than that, just 5%, the world IT. So this 5,200 billion that I talked about, it is actually growing 5% every year. Whereas Indian IT, which is 300 billion, is actually growing at 16% per year. 1/6, right? 1/6. So, this is the most opportune time for all of you to be part of this. Why? Because you can apply a simple CAGR formula, right? The compounding formula, and you can easily make out that when you will be at the peak of your career, maybe 15 years from now, right? Indian IT will be exactly equal to the world IT. Because we are growing at 16%, even though we are small, we are growing faster, 3 times faster than the world IT. Whereas the world IT is growing only at 5%. So after 15 years, we'll be like almost at par with the world, rest of the world. And that is where the real substance is. So that is number one, why IT. Number two, this is, by far, everybody know that this is the fastest growing industry segment right now. Compared to many other segments, be it manufacturing, life sciences, healthcare, or banking and financial services, or insurance, whatever you call it, right? The IT sector is actually growing faster than any of these sectors. That's number two. Number three, even if you look at the other sectors like manufacturing, automobile, or insurance, or banking, all of them, right? All of them. Earlier days, they used to, take IT as support function. So IT was helping these businesses like manufacturers or the automobile companies to make decisions. But IT was purely in support role. Today, the IT is actually driving the business. Now, we all know, right? Autonomous cars in automobile. What is autonomous car? The car is actually driven by software now, right? So it's all purely driven by software. So it is completely IT driven thing. Uber, right? We all know what is Uber. Uber without IT, they are not going to be in the business for sure, right? Without IT, without that mobile app, or without the maps and all that, Uber cannot survive. So that is where the things are changing now. So obviously the IT is fastest growing, Indian IT. Number two, every business is more like a software business now. And number three, which is very, very important for all of you to understand, the type of projects that we are doing in IT nowadays, right, has completely changed. I am in the industry for 25 years. I have seen it all, right? Earlier, we used to do some, legacy technology projects, mainframe-based projects, or some, Fortran-based projects, or C++, or C language, or Java and J2E and all of that, right? That's all legacy. What has changed now? All the projects, half of the project at least today, right, are actually from all the new things that are coming as digital, right? You talk about AR, VR, you talk about IP, RPA, you talk about blockchain, you talk about GenAI, you talk about UI, UX, all of that. So half of the projects are actually coming from the new technologies. And now that is a very important point for all of you to understand. Because when somebody gets into a career, professional career, right? When I got into it, I competed with people who were experienced than me, much more experienced than me. They knew Java, they knew mainframe better than me. 6 years, 7 years, all of that, and I used to compete with them. And that was a very challenging thing. But now the complete paradigm had changed. Because when you get into, and if you have been asked to work on a GenAI project, you are not going to compete with anybody who has kind of, have a experience of 7 years in GenAI, because GenAI was not there. It was not there before. So there is no competition. It is a level playing or a equal opportunity field for all of us, all of you. And that is, the beauty of these things, because when companies like us, Cognizant, we know for sure that we are not going to get people, experienced people in these areas, because nobody is formally educated in this. People who have been graduated before, they were not taught about GenAI or AR, VR or whatever, right? So it's not going to be the case. So we really have to count on you who are getting fresh out of the college and who can learn new things very fast compared to the experienced people. And that is where we have been investing a lot in terms of onboarding a fresh talent like all of you. Onboarding a fresh talent like all of you. And that is why I am here, Shilpa is here. All right. So that is about IT. So before I move on, right? So any confusion with IT that you should be building your career in IT or not? Or are you okay that IT is good to build a career? Yes or no? Hello? Yeah, very good. Okay, all right. One last point before I get on to Cognizant now. From a socio-economic background as well, think about career in IT, right? It's a well-respected job. First of all, we all know it. That if somebody is working in IT, it is a respectful job. Number two, you surely would get a cross-industry exposure. What I mean by that let's say you are part of Cognizant and you will be working for an automobile client or a manufacturing client or an electricity client or an oil company client, right? So you will get to know about that business as well, in addition to your core competency in engineering, right? So cross-industry exposure is very high. Number three is things keep changing in IT, right? Every now and then we know that something keeps coming in new in the IT. That GenAI will come, LLMs will come, all of that keeps happening. So, the humongous amount of learning opportunities, always. And finally, we all know, right? A good professional financial growth, that, you are well paid generally in IT. You are well paid, you are well taken care financially and socially, right? So obviously, IT is one of those options that we all engineers, right? We must consider, right? Getting into it. No, I'm not disrespecting any other fields, but IT is something is actually kind of making all the waves. Now, given IT is very lucrative, let's think about in IT, what is that company I should be part of? And I am here to represent Cognizant, right? And I will definitely talk good about Cognizant, but I'll tell you the reason for that. All right, can you go to the next one, please? Hello? Yeah. All right, so as you can see on the screen here, I probably can start with the bottom line here, as celebrating 30 years in business. Celebrating 30 years in business is not a small thing. For a company of our size, right, with 330,000 plus people, being in business, working in multiple continents across the globe, working with thousands of clients, working with variety of industries, banking, financial, healthcare, life sciences, automobile, consumer goods, retail, hospitality, right? It's not easy. It is not easy. So being relevant in business, in industry for 30 years, is something, is an accomplishment in itself. But another point which I'll tell you, if you look at the revenue of Cognizant, $19.4 billion that you can see on the screen here, right? 19.4 in 2023. That's our annual revenue, 19.4. Now, no disrespect to any other company, but I'll give you some facts. So essentially, Cognizant was founded in 1995 actually. So we are celebrating our 30th year in business. Our revenue is 19.4. Again, no disrespect, but when was Infosys founded? Any guesses? Infosys was founded in 1981. right? Cognizant founded in 1995. Infosys was founded in 1981. What is the revenue of Infosys? The revenue of Infosys is 19 billion, 19 billion, exactly like Cognizant, correct? But they were founded 20 years, almost 50, 16 years before us. When was TCS founded? TCS was founded in 1968. 56 years in business. 56 years in business, and they are at $29 billion. Much better than Cognizant. But the point is, you can recognize one thing here, right? That what we could do in 30 years, right? The others, really took a long time to get there. So we could do that really fast. And why is that? Because we always maintain that culture of nimbleness and agility inside Cognizant. That if things are changing, even though we are big in size, 330,000 people, we have mastered that art where we can change ourselves very fast. Immediately we can, gear into the new way of working, new way of thinking, and we shape ourselves or reinvent ourselves very fast. And that is the beauty of Cognizant, that you see 30 years in business, super fast, phenomenal growth. That is number one. The other point which I probably can highlight here is the people champion. You see, right, the accolades or accomplishment by LinkedIn India that Cognizant is the best, the employer of the choice. Employer of the choice. One thing I'll definitely I'll share with you. For any company, I don't know how many of you know Starbucks. You know Starbucks? What is Starbucks? Right? So Starbucks is one of the most successful companies across the globe in their own domain, in their own industry, right? Which is a hospitality or a retail kind of industry. They serve coffees and the hot drinks and everything, right? Starbucks. How many of you read through a story of Starbucks? Starbucks, they had a CEO, he's retired now, his name was Howard Schultz, the Starbucks CEO. He said one thing, that why we are so successful, right, Starbucks, is because we do many things correct or many things right in the workplace for our employees. So workplace, right? My own employees, my own company, I do lot many things correct. Now, when I do lot many things correct in my workplace, I actually can do, win in the marketplace. Because my employees are happy, and that is why then we win new markets, we win new customers. And that is very true, very fundamental, right? That if your employees are happy, then you will win. You will win clients. If your employees are not happy, you are not going to win. Because no matter how much you push your employees, they are not going to go above and beyond to make your customer successful. They are not going to do it because they themselves are not happy. That's a very simple rule. And that is, I really want to highlight that part, that being an employer of choice is very, very important. So for Cognizant, there are only two true norths, just two things. One, the customer, and the other, the employees. That's it. We don't think about anything else. Think about our own customers and think about our own employees. That's it. We will be successful. Rest all is assured. Things will fall in line and we will win in the marketplace. So another point, as you can see on the slide, this $19.4 billion of revenue, right, that you see. One good part here, I can give you that statistics. 52% of this revenue, out of this 19.4, is actually all the projects is coming from the digital side of the things. So which I talked about, right? Like AR, VR, UI, UX, IPA, RPA, cloud, data science, and the blockchains and the generative AI and all of that. So half of the project, or more than half of the revenue, is actually coming from new technology projects. And that means that when you join, the probability of you working on something which is really cutting edge, which is really new in the market, in technology landscape, right, is very high. That probability is very, very high. Because what we are winning all the new technology projects. We are not continuing with the old ones, right? So that is very, very important. So that's about Cognizant. So industry is good, IT is great, IT is really good. Within that, I told you about Cognizant, that why we are so great, phenomenal success in a shorter time. The shift in the revenue, the type of projects that we do, they are more from the digital side of the things now, more than 50% of that. And number three, that we have just two true norths, our customers and our employees. That's about it. Now having said, right, that IT is good, Cognizant is great. All right, so I am part of Cognizant now. You are part of Cognizant. What is that you should be expecting from Cognizant? Or what is that in it for you, right? That's very, very important because, of course, the job is offered to you by Cognizant. That's okay, great. You have been given a role, awesome, very good. But how will you build your career in Cognizant? So remember, there are three things. And think about this before you take up any opportunity, start your building your professional career. Think about this, that what is in it for you. Three things in Cognizant. Number one, see, as a company, this is my 18th year, as I said, as a company, while we are there in the business to win new projects, make money, win new clients, expand ourselves into geographies, all that is there. And that is very much needed for our sustenance, our existence in the industry. That is given. That is a business part of the things. But beyond that, we also have a purpose. As a company, we have a purpose. We have a very deep meaning that what work we will do, why we will do it, right? And that purpose is very, very important and very important for all of you to understand, because unless you are driven by any meaningful purpose, you are not going to build any meaningful career out of it. I can tell you this, right? For sure. For example, right, our purpose says that we are here to engineer. Cognizant purpose is we are here to engineer modern businesses, right? Modern businesses to change everybody's life, right? Change every day everybody's life, and that is very, very meaningful purpose. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. No, go to the next. Yeah, go to the next, please. Yeah, then one after this. All right, okay. Right, so now that purpose is very, very important. And now three things which I was telling you, right? One is obviously we are here where you will be part of some of the projects, and I'll give you some examples now, where you are actually making some impact to the society at large, right? It is not only about you being billable, client is paying for you, or client is paying for your services, or client is paying to Cognizant, all that is there. But the quality of project you have been working on has some different meaning altogether, right? That is number one, and I'll give you some examples. Number two, we are a very diverse and inclusive company, and that brings a lot of things, because you will be constantly challenged. Because we all know there is an old saying in English, right? If I am the smartest in the room, that means I am in a wrong room. If I am the smartest in the room, that means I am in a wrong room. And we don't want you to be the smartest in the room. You will be challenged. You will always be challenged to do more, to do better, always, to do different. So that's very, very important. See, diversity and inclusion is very, everybody talks about it. There are only few who actually have mastered it. Diversity is very easy to get, right? It's just a number game that, okay, I need 50 women and 50 men population in my team. That's okay, that's done. What about inclusivity? Inclusivity is here. It cannot come just like that. You have to really change your mindset, right? And that is what is really takes a lot, a village, to do it. And Cognizant has done that. And because you will get to work with people of a different, background. In my own team, there are people from Brazil, there are people from Argentina, Romania, right? And there are people from India. So they all work together and they get challenged because they have a very different way of thinking than what people in India can think about. And because of that, we build that collective wisdom there. And that is very, very important to keep everybody moving in a positive direction. So number one, you will be part of something real, solving some real problem of the world or the customer, right? I'll give you some examples. Number two, you will be challenged. And number three, right, that you will be constantly given an opportunity to innovate, work on cutting edge technologies, right? Like as I said, by design, you'll be working on some new technology projects. But you will be even supported to innovate, challenge the status quo, and think differently that, okay, all that is fine, whatever is happening, but why not this? Why not that, right? Do that. Move to the next, please. Can you move to the next slide, please? Hello? Has he left? Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, go next. Please go next. One more. Could have done it here only. Hello? All right, so is there a problem? Is he doing it, or can you see that? All right, anyway, so while he is doing that, so I'll tell you one example, what happened last week. So as I said, and I thought I'll play one video. No, not this one. Play the last one, the third one, maybe. Okay, all right. So that's fine. Never mind. So I'll give you an example, right? So I lead a group, as I said, the oil and gas companies and energy and utilities group, right? So we work with a company, a very big, massive oil and gas company in Canada. The name of the company is Enbridge. 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 It's a massive, massive oil and gas company in Canada. All right, and I'll give you a real example now. What happened? So I have a team of 200 people working for this particular client, and what project we do? We actually do the gas pipeline patrolling for the entire Enbridge gas pipeline. So it's a big oil company, oil and gas company, and they have massive gas pipelines in the field, right? You can imagine the length, the end-to-end length of all the gas pipelines put together is actually 7 times of the perimeter of the earth. That is the length of the pipeline that Enbridge has in Canada. 7 times of the perimeter of the earth, 173 miles, 173,000 miles in length, right? And that is something that my team, Cognizant team, must be from this college or Priyadarshini or Vincent College. They all monitor. They take the LiDAR images, they take the drone images, and they keep analyzing and do the analytics on the gas pipeline monitoring. That is there anything wrong happening with those pipelines there? 2 days back, last week actually, what happened? My team, 70 people, 200 people total, 70 they were sitting in Toronto in Canada, and 130 are sitting in India in Pune. And then this team, on one fine moment, they saw that something is happening in Calgary area, the other part of Canada. That some digging is happening where probably it can come and hit the gas pipeline which was underground, right? Now just imagine the length of pipeline. These are all underground pipes. And if anything happens with the gas pipeline, it can be a disaster. It can be a real disaster. So entire my team got into action. They started taking the additional images from the drone, the satellite imaging and LiDAR images, and started analyzing the pattern, what is happening in Calgary area, right? They were sitting in Toronto. And they figured out that some digging is happening. And that digging is exactly, right above the pipelines in that area. So they immediately, inform all the field crew that go and look what is happening, investigate. Something is going wrong there. And I can tell you, 42 hours, the team was sitting in the command center. They were analyzing all the images, right? And looking at what is happening. And 42 hours, after 42 hours, they exactly spotted where it is happening. And the team went there, the field crew, and they stopped the digging. You know what? The drills were just approximately only 7 centimeters away from the big, massive pipeline of this auditorium size. This was the size of a pipe. And they, the drill was almost just 7 centimeters away from the pipe. Now they stopped it. Now just imagine, right? The impact. It could have been a massive disaster in Canada. But our team, those 70 people there and 130 in India, could stop it. Big round of applause for them, because they did something which they will remember for ages now. which they will remember that I worked as a software developer in that project where I actually saved so many lives, so much of devastation. I saved it along with many others, my colleagues, right? And that is the purpose. That is the purpose. That technology projects will change, but that has to be here always. Back up your mind at what am I doing, right? What am I trying to do? And those opportunities are here in Cognizant. So the real world problem. Number two, you will obviously work on the latest technologies. He couldn't play the video. Can you play the video? Maybe you, if you can play this. This is the gas pipeline video, by the way. Or I can move on. Do you want to play the video or is it okay? Huh? Yeah, play the. Okay, all right. Anyway, it's okay. So now, when I say about, you will be working on the real world problem that is given, you will be supported to work on cutting edge technology that is absolutely by design, because by design we are winning projects in new technology area only. Number three is you will be supported to innovate. Now you can see on the slide that the partnership, we have set up multiple labs in Cognizant, many labs with AWS, Amazon, with GCP, Global Cloud, Azure. Now we are setting, we already have set up one GenAI lab in San Francisco, and the second one is coming up in London, and the third one is coming up in Bangalore. So and what we intend, we have been spending humongous amount of money in setting up those labs, wherein you can come and try new skills, learn new technologies, all of that. So this is something that I can summarize that what you can look forward to when you work for Cognizant. Number one, you will be part of the teams that are solving something real. Number two, you will be working on cutting edge technologies. And number three, you will be, compelled to innovate. You will be pushed to innovate beyond your boundaries. Think differently, think better, right? And try to do something new. Now, having said all of this, right? This is my 18th year in Cognizant. I'll move on to the last part. IT is good. Cognizant is awesome. There is a lot for you in it. How you can be successful. Getting a job is just one step, right? Getting a job is just one step, but how will you build your career? There are 336,000 plus people working in Cognizant. Very honestly, I can tell you, not all of them are successful. Not all of them could get elevated just like that. No. Many of them got stagnant at some point of time, right? Only some of them are successful. Why is that? You should be, thinking about this. There are only three things that I really want. Given I have spent so much of 25 years in the industry, I can share three things how you can be successful in IT career. Number one, think about big picture. Think about big picture, meaning if you are working on something, if your team leader is asking you to work on something, try to understand why he or she asking you to do that. Ask those questions. Try to get that big picture. Build your opinion. Build your knowledge, build your point of view around it. Just don't do it just because somebody is asked to do it and you have been doing it. No, ask that question. You will build your own perspective, a very different perspective. I'll give you another example here. I was in New York 2 weeks back. There was a fresher, right, last year who joined maybe from this college or some other college in New York. And he was writing an utility or a code, in Python, to validate the zip code, like PIN code in India. He was writing a utility to validate zip code. Which one is a zip code valid with zip code? Invalid zip code. He was just doing that. I asked him, why are you doing this? He said, my team lead has asked me to do this. That is why I am doing this. I said, do you know, but what is the purpose? Where this will be used? He said, no. I said, you should have asked that, right? Why didn't you ask? He said, no, I thought he asked me to, just write a program or a code to validate and invalidate the zip codes. Whatever list I have been given, I am just doing that. I have a list of valid, I am just comparing and doing it. Okay, very good. Then I explained to him, come here, I'll tell you why are you doing this. Con Edison in New York. Con Edison is a New York-based power company. They actually supply electricity in New York. Con Edison, right? That's the name of the company. And this guy was working for, from my team, he's working for Con Edison. There was a threat issued by FBI to Con Edison that you will be getting numerous number of service calls that there is no electricity in my colony, or there is no electricity in my premise, or there is no electricity in my hospital or my office or whatever. Many of them will be fake calls. That is a bad intended call. you all know computer science people will understand the DOS attack, right? The denial of service attack. That was the case, that they want to block your call center system, and then they create an outage so that you can't even repair and you don't even know where to go and repair. And that is why this threat is issued by FBI to Cognizant. Now I told him, do you know what you are doing? You are actually segregating the valid and invalid zip codes, and that will help to reduce the number of fake calls here immediately. And that is how you will save so many people. Many people could be on the life support system. They need constant electricity at home. If there is no electricity, they will lose their life. And you are doing it now. There was a very different glimpse in the eyes of that boy. Because then he realized that whatever I am doing, small work, has a very deep meaning. And that is exactly what I am trying to tell you here. Ask those questions. Why are you doing this? Right? So be very clear. Have that big picture in mind. That is number one, to be successful. Number two, every day is a new day. Today, if you have done something good, your team lead will come and appreciate you. Right? Good. Something to cherish about. That memory has to be there in your mind always. Cherish about it. But you cannot build your career on your past glory. The day is over. Today is a new day. Keep striving hard every single day. Try to see, right, that what best you can do today. Right? Keep doing that again and again, right? Never be complacent. That's number two. Number three, be vocal. Come forward. Build your individual brand. It is very difficult to get yourself recognized in a group of 336,000 people. Nobody is going to know you, or like they will not have any sort of connect with you, because it's a ocean, 336,000 people. But it is up to you that you come forward, ask questions, be vocal, build your individual brand. Right? If you come forward, people will remember you, people will know you, and they will look at you. So, no, great companies are not made by 10 or 15 leaders. No, absolutely no. None of the great companies are made by just 1 or 10 of people. The great companies are made by everybody in the company, all the employees. And that is very true for Cognizant as well. So, if you remember these three things, right, that have that bigger picture in mind, ask, try to understand the purpose. Number two, never settle, keep striving hard. And number three, build your own brand. Come forward, be vocal. If you do that, I don't think there will be any reason why you cannot be successful in company like Cognizant. All right. So with that, I wish you all the best. I know all of you are young mind, bright minds. I know you will do well. With all my best luck. I'll take a pause. I'll hand it over to Shilpa. But if there are any questions, I'm here. So thank you. Thank you once again for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nitin. Good morning. Okay, I need a quick rollout. So how many are from GH Raisoni? Raise your hands. Okay. Priyadarshini College? Okay. So how many students were expecting, sir, from Priyadarshini? How many were expected here? Total? I hardly see 50 or no. So, okay, fine. So I hope they are attending. I mean, virtually they're attending. Okay, sure. So thank you. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for taking time out from your academic schedule, and then I hope you have thoroughly heard Nitin what he has actually addressed you, that the three important things for anybody, not only for students like you, but it is for anybody: be vocal, be curious, right? So that is something. With that, I will get into today's agenda of my slides. Can you go to next slide, please? One more. Okay. So before I get into more details of Gen Z hiring 2025, let me quickly tell you why Cognizant, right? What are the key differentiator we have compared to our competitors, and how we are covering students, bright students like you, pre-onboarding and post-onboarding. So the things which you are seeing on the screen, right? Pre-onboarding. So we have, the Cognizant have a different way of working when it comes to partnership with academia. So we have formed regional councils across India. So basically we operate pan-India. So I take care of West and Central region of India, which is Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, I have my counterpart, my teams, who are in North, who are in South, in Chennai, Kolkata, and all of us together, we are working with all academic partners, around 800 plus academia partners pan India, and then we do a early engagement activities. So at every location or at every zone, we call it as, we have former regional councils. So this regional council is nothing but, we have a leaders like Nitin, right? So we have a leaders who are working with us very closely, and then we have our academic partners. So we have that we are a triangle. So business, Gen Z team, and academia, we work together, and then we do early grooming of students like you. So as a part of those regional council activities, we have recently launched, the last year we have launched one program which is called as Digital Nurture Partner Network Program. And what we do under this program, we actually adapt a batch of specialized skills. So if you have your college has a stream in B.Tech in AI/ML or B.Tech in data science, or if you have a elective in Salesforce, Pega, MuleSoft, we adapt a batch, complete batch. We groom them. So we have our business experts who come to college along with us. We do a blended learning of self-paced learning plus classroom sessions. Then we do a profiling of students, and then we run a hackathon. And then we identify bright students from that channel, and then we we onboard them. So similarly, we have also launched Technoverse Hackathon last year. How many of you were part of Technoverse Hackathon last year, which we have launched? Anybody who has participated into that? Okay, so we had launched hackathon last year, and then the themes were all the latest cutting edge technologies, and then the main focus of last year's hackathon is, one is Gen AI, and the second is DNI. So we wanted a 50% woman participation into that, and that really appreciated and accepted by all our academic partners. So recently we have finished the finale of Technoverse Hackathon as well, and now the winners, top 5 winners, they have come to us, and they have completed internship with us. So there are multiple engagements what we have been doing with our academic partners like this, just to make sure that we are preparing. So we are preparing our own talent in our own way. So so this is from our end, right? So we get students like you business ready on day one when you join us as a full-time employee. But what you will get out of it? So one, you know where you're heading to, you get a role clarity. Because in general, if you are participating any kind of mass hiring, you don't know where you are heading to, what role you will be offering to know for. But then in this kind of programs, you know, okay, I'm going to AI practice, okay, I'm going to IoT practice, I will be offered a role of data scientist or a data analyst. So this role clarity you get when you participate in such kind of pre-onboarding initiatives. After now, let's move to next part of it. When you suppose now everything is done, hiring is done, and you have joined us as a full-time employee, then what we have to offer you? So your regular 9 to 6 job will always be there, but what else, right? So we have another program, and this is typically for all the students or all the Gen Z. We call freshers as a Gen Z, which is Generation Cognizant. For all the students who are very passionate about their career, who want an accelerated career path, so this program is for them. So every associate in Cognizant, I mean the junior level associate, who completes 6 months in organization, he or she becomes eligible to apply for this program, which is called as Digital Honor Program. So through this program as well, you can become a data scientist, data analyst, or you can become a Salesforce administrator, or you can be a Pega expert, or a cybersecurity expert, and you will become a your career will be elevated or upgraded to next role within first 6 months itself. So you will be ended up in getting higher end pay package. So this is what, this is one more program. Then we also believe that learning never ends, right? So you can learn while you earn. So this is this is our higher education program. So we have tie-up with IIT Jodhpur and BITS Mirza, so wherein you can do your master's in data science. So how you can do this? So we assist you with the loan for first 3 semesters, and your last semester is on us. So we completely sponsored the 4th semester. The only condition is that you should be active on Cognizant payroll for those 2 years. If in between you change your plan, and if you decide to leave Cognizant, then that offer will be that will become invalid, and you will have to own expenses of your 4th semester. And the last and the most important USP of Cognizant is we do not have any service bond. Why? Because we trust you. We trust because we know if you are joining us for an internship or for any kind of pre-engagement activities, what we are doing, then obviously looking at the culture, what we have in Cognizant, looking at the knowledge or exposure we will be giving you through all these initiatives, you will definitely stick to us. So that trust we have in you and that confidence we have in us. So hence we do not have any service bond. Can you go to next slide, please? So while all these programs, what I have spoke about, that was only possible and very well appreciated by our academic partners like J.H. Raisoni, Priyadarshini, St. Vincent Pallotti. Same were also appreciated and recognized by various other platforms. So we recently won a gold award in by Brandon Hall. This is nothing but a Oscar in L&D industry or a human capital management industry. So we won a gold award for our skilling program for Gen Zs, and we won a bronze award for our talent acquisition program. We have also identified as a runner-up during our internal global project of the year, the impact project of the year, internally by our CEO. And we have also won a NASCOM award just in December. So all this was possible only because of the academic partners like your college. So big round of applause for all our academic partners. Can you move to next slide, please? Okay, so this is the most important slide, right? This is for you. So these are the 3 categories we have in 2025. I'll start from Gen Z next. So Gen Z next, that is a category for individuals who are technically proficient and all those who have a full stack capability. So you have to be really pro in technical skills. Then this category is for you. Then we have a Gen Z Pro. Gen Z Pro is nothing but a product specific hiring what we do. Under this, we hire students who have a industry accredited certifications like IoT, cybersecurity, Salesforce, Pega, MuleSoft, or even full stack. Right? And then we can also consider your languages. I mean, the Japanese language, German language, French language. If you have a certification done in those languages, this can be a category where you can be selected for. And then it's a regular Gen Z category wherein we expect very foundational level programming language, but you should have a good learning agility and then good right attitude towards your career. So these are the 3 categories. I'll move to next slide wherein we will be talking in detail on 2024 hiring. Can you go to next slide, please? So this is for what we have as in assessments, right? So this we will be having 3 assessment this year: communication assessment, then aptitude assessment, and then technical assessment. Your selection for internship is completely depending on the performance in all these 3 assessments. If you clear this assessment successfully, we will be rolling out a letter of intent for internship. But just one point to call out: internship is not for everybody. It will be based on your performance in these 3 tests, then the skill you possess and the business demand. And the most important thing, you should have a provisional certificate so that we can actually give you a LOI for internship. So make sure you check with your placement officer, and if you have a provisional certificate, then you are eligible to become a part of internship program. And at the time of joining, voter ID card and passport is really mandatory, because that will be act as a valid ID card. Any queries on this slide? How many of you have already registered into Cognizant job posting? I hope all of you have uploaded your industry accredited certification, because I heard in Raisoni you have a Salesforce course which you are already doing. Have all of you uploaded that, or did a mention about that in your registration form? No? Yes or no? It's a mixed response. Okay, but let's try to do that. I don't know now whether you will be able to again submit your registration form, but all those who are yet to do it, let's make sure if you have any kind of evidence for Salesforce courses what you are doing, please go ahead and upload that, so that it will give you an opportunity to get selected for a Gen Z Pro role. All this assessment, the communication assessment, aptitude assessment, and technical assessment is going to be virtual, but technical interview will be in person, and there are no exceptions given to that. When you will be coming for a technical interview, make sure you carry your college ID card without fail, along with all your mark sheets, 10th, 12th, UG, PG, everything, because that will be validated at the time of interview. Can you go to next slide, please? So this slide talks about eligibility. So all streams except leather, food, fashion, BE, BTech, ME, MTech students are eligible to register for 2025 hiring. What we expect is minimum 60% throughout academics and without any standing arrears. And then flexibility to work from any Cognizant location. When I say this, right, we do give you a preference location at the time of, we ask you, what is your preference location? So 90% we will stick to your preferred location. Unless we do not have a demand at particular location, then we may ask you to relocate to some other location. But then 90% we stick to that location. And this job or 2025 hiring is open for Indian national OCIs and PIO who are currently residing in India. Mandatory registration documents I have already spoken. The only call out I have to do is about the PAN card. PAN card is mandatory. So if you do not have a PAN card right now, it is fine. We need it at the time of onboarding. So go ahead and apply for that. And make sure your name on the PAN card exactly matches whatever name you have in your all other documents. So make sure you do that. Otherwise, your BGB may fail, and then it may create issues in your onboarding. Any queries on this slide? Okay. Can you go to next slide, please? So this is the registration process. As I said, communication, aptitude, technical. Depending on your performance in these three assessments, you will be categorized as a Gen Z Next, Gen Z Pro, and Gen Z, and you will be called for technical interview. Only one attempt per assessment, and for the technical assessment, you already know you have registered, so you have already got 2 skill clusters to choose for your assessment. So I will not talk much on that because you have already done that. Can we go to next slide? So let's get into more details on the assessments. So for communication assessment, what we have is the assessment will be for 60 minutes, which will have 3 sections into it: reading and grammar, then comprehension and listening and speaking. See, one important point to note, for all of you, just pay attention here, right? You will be getting a auto trigger from Superset 2 days prior to your assessment. This assessment need a system checkup to be done well in advance, because your cameras, your mic should be working. So just do it as and when you get email in your mailbox, just go ahead, immediately do a system check, so that if there are any technical glitches that can be caught very early, and then that can be resolved. Because during the assessment, if you face any kind of issue, it is very difficult to get hold of the analyst or the superset POC and then resolve the technical glitch, and then in turn you lose your assessment time and you end up in actually over consuming your time, and then you may be disqualified from the communication assessment. And there is only one attempt. No attempt will be provided unless it is an issue from platform. So make sure that all the system checks are done. If you face any issues, in that, immediately get in touch with your placement officer, so that your placement officer can get in touch with us and we can resolve that issue immediately. Aptitude assessment, 80 minutes, 2 sections, and below are the topics which are already mentioned in the slide. Can you go to next slide, please? Technical assessment, as I said, we are offering 3 clusters: Java, Python, and C#. 120 minutes, 3 sections, and the topics are mentioned below. Next slide, please. Next. Next. Okay, this is just do's and don'ts slides. Just go through it. Done? Can I move to next slide? Okay. Next slide, please. So this slide talks more on internship. So internship, as I said, is not for everybody, but yes, it is for specific or selected set of students. One important point to be noted for internship is, from this year onwards, internship or the training will happen only on the 2 Cognizant locations, which is Chennai and Coimbatore. So be flexible. This is just a matter of 4 to 6 months, but you will have to travel to either Chennai or Coimbatore depending on which location you get. Obviously, your full-time employment location would be as per the preferences given by you. But you have to be flexible, and just keep a note of this, that if you are willing to do internship, you have to travel to these 2 locations. Internship is stipend based, and it will be a milestone based stipend which we will be giving you. So there are certain milestones which will be decided by Cognizant during the training, and you complete that milestone successfully, the stipend will be paid to you. Internship will happen in 8th semester, 5 days a week, and no leaves will be entertained during the internship, because the duration is very less, and if you take leaves, then you will we will be behind from the batch. Your peers will move away in the syllabus, and you will be left behind. So let's try to avoid leaves unless it is leaves are genuine. Any queries on internship slide? One thing I would like to point out is, as Nitin said, you have to be vocal. You have to be curious. You have to ask questions. Either I am too good, or the content is too good, or you are not paying attention to slides. As I did not have a single question as of, I have passed so many slides, no question at all. Is it all, everything is understood? All good? Okay. Next slide, please. So this flow, this talks about internship. I have already explained you in detail. So after your selection, you will be getting letter of intent for internship. You will be onboarded as an intern in a staggered manner based on the business demand. You will be trained first, and then after successful completion of internship, we will be rolling out a full-time employment offer in staggered manner, and then you will be deployed to project. Can you go to next slide, please? This slide talks about full-time employment. I mean the direct onboarding route, right? So all those who cannot come for an internship, there is a separate route for them. So you will be onboarded first as a full-time employee, and then you will be trained, and then you will be deployed to projects. So the training period, the training curriculum, everything is same. Only the difference is only the timeline. And I think that is the last slide I have for today. I'll take a pause here. I am open for Q&A either for me or for Nitin. Feel free to ask questions.
Friends, I request you, please raise your hand. We'll pass on the mic to you. Please don't miss out this golden chance to ask questions if you have any query.
There is one question.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am. My question is for Nitin, sir.
Just hold it closer. I cannot hear you.
Ma'am, my question is for Nitin, sir. As he told earlier that we will be exploring different technologies, different domains. So can we say that the freshers one and the experienced one, they both are at the same level?
Okay, so let me repeat your question. If I understood it correctly, you are saying that when you get into a new project, and of course it will be a combination of experienced people and the college fresh out people like you, will you all will be at the same level? Is that a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. You will not be at the same level. The straight answer is no. Your experience would matter. What I meant when I said that, right, is essentially if the project is on new technologies, right? For example, it's a generative AI based project, and it's a team of 10 people. There are 7 experienced people working, and 3 of you are like fresh from the college. The thing is, all of you will have to be trained, because including those 7 people as well. So from that standpoint, there is no difference. That is number one. Number two is in terms of opportunity. Now let's say out of these 10 people, if the client is asking that I need 2 of them at onshore, right? Then I am not going to make a choice, or any of the project manager is not going to make a choice that I will be sending only 2 from the experience category, not from the fresh category, because you are all equal. Given your experience level is different, they may be senior developer, you may be a developer. Okay, that is fine. But in terms of opportunity, in terms of role, in terms of training, there is absolutely no difference, and that is a big change. Because there are many projects where there are people who are already trained, so they don't have to get trained, and they will be training you. So that is a complete different thing. Here it's a level playing field in terms of opportunities. So what in summary, or in the end, what I can say here, right? You can, once you get into it, of course, somebody will be senior developer, you will be a developer. But from that point onward, you can be on a fast track, better track, or a faster track than them. You can go onshore before them. Absolutely no problem with that. That is how it is, right? So I hope I answered your question, because that's how we treat it. Because knowledge-wise, intellectual-wise, there is no difference. All of you are equal. Experience level, yes, there is a difference. So role and level will change, but not opportunities.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Friends, Shilpa ma'am, I would like to go for a question if I'm allowed to do so. Ma'am, I recently faced out few problems, and therefore this question came into my mind. Sir, ma'am, as you have told that passport and voter ID is mandatory for verifying the nationality. In my case, I haven't, applied for both of them. So if we do apply it now, and if we have some sort of acknowledgement from their side, will that work for?
See, we need this at the time of onboarding.
Onboarding.
It's not now, June.
June. So if we do
You will
apply
get
now,
it in
so we
3
can
weeks.
get it by that
Passport you will get in 3 weeks.
few weeks.
And it's either passport or voter ID card. It's not both.
So we have a choice between them. All right, friends. I hope you have made the note that passport or voter ID, any of that, any of the one document among these can be used for verifying the nationality. Second, ma'am, I have a question that do we have some sort of mock test before it?
We may have, because so for communication, yes, me have. Probably I'll let your TPOs know about it. Because last time we had, this time also we may have.
Because ma'am, we have just came out with few compatibility issues that
I
the newer
understand.
version of
Yeah.
Windows were glitching a lot with the web camera access due
Correct,
to privacy.
correct.
So
Yeah, so that's where I was telling, do system check well before time, so that you don't end up in issue at the time of assessment. But yes, 99% we will have mock
now
assessment.
it's a humble request if we can have just 2 days in advance. In that case, we can just made out the modifications in the system.
Sure.
The next question I would go for is, ma'am, you have told us, and you might also been informed from the college that few of the students have Salesforce certifications here. So, ma'am, in my case also, we do have certification, but at the filling of the form, we haven't mentioned it. So, do we have any other chance to edit or modify it? Because it was only once in the superset, we cannot withdraw the application.
I will have to check, or now I know that Raisoni students have, so I'll get a list of students from sir, whoever has it, and then when we are just filtering that, right, that at that time I can mark the students against Salesforce. If that is not possible, editing is not possible.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Those are all the questions from my side. Friends, anyone else would like to go for it? Regarding anything? The company people, the industry people are right in front of you.
There is a question.
All right. If you can have the mic there, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is to my question is to you that during registration, we have mentioned two skill clusters. So it is our reference what we have to mention, right? So which reference is going to come?
So after you complete your communication assessment, right, you will get an email from Cognizant that you will be given, you are supposed to give assessment in this cluster 1 or cluster 2.
Yeah.
You will get that notification from Superset.
So it will company will decide which cluster is going to come. Yeah.
See, mostly your preference will be considered for a technical cluster 1, but only if we do not have a business demand. See, for example, we have Java, Python, and C hash. What if I have only 50 demand for C hash, but then 1,000 students have registered for it?
Yeah.
And then I have a more demand for Java, but very less students have registered for it. In that case, I may change it.
Okay, ma'am.
Because ultimately everything boils down to demand, business demand, and which we need to fulfill.
Yes, sure.
Friends, anyone would like to go for a question? You can ask them right here, sir, ma'am is here.
And it's not only about hiring, any question which you have in your mind.
Then later on, you have to mail on the support. So rather than mailing, you can just ask them there. All right, ma'am. I guess the students are pretty clear with all the presentation and the session, sir.
We will have just one photograph and then we can discuss. Yeah. I would like to call all students, please occupy these front rows. Stand up and occupy front rows. We have to get one photograph.
All right, friends. I will request this row first. The students kindly come up near the stage. Friends, kindly stand up for a group photograph. My left-hand row, kindly stand up. You can keep your bags there and you can keep your bags there and just join us near the stage. Thanks, Athar, for taking out the initiative. Now may I request the row towards my right hand side. The students kindly join us for the group photograph. I repeat, all request you to kindly join in for the photograph. Yes, now I may request additional students to kindly step on the dais. चेक चेक सर थोड़ा वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दीजिए इसका.
So friends, we would be privileged to have a photograph with you. So I request all of you to stand up, walk down and have a click a photograph with us. Thank you so much. Few of you can join us on stage as well. Come on, girls, you can come on stage.
फ्रेंड्स प्लीज जॉइन अस हियर. स्टेयर्स को खाली कर दीजिए ताकि बच्चे ऊपर आ सके. मूव इनसाइड. स्टेयर्स को खाली कर दीजिए राइट हैंड साइड में ताकि स्टूडेंट्स ऊपर आ सकें. यस टेक आउट स्टेज में जगह ले ली जाइए. लवंश स्टेज पे अबे तो आया इसके पहली बार. All right, fans, give a huge round of applause. A thunderous one. Thank you so much, friends. Friends, kindly take out your belongings, okay? Don't forget them here. Remember to pick up your bags. Thank you. Great. Arpan, hi, 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 hi. पहली कंपनी थी एक्सेंचर एक्सेंचर 2-3 गई है जी सर हाँ जी हाँ सर स्ट्रीमिंग बंद करवा दीजिए